stop what you are doing right now. I need you to think about the last big decision you made. Maybe it was a relationship, a job, a choice you made today about what to eat, what to watch, who to text. You felt like you decided. You felt the thought arrive. You felt yourself consider it. You felt yourself choose. Here is the truth that will change everything you think you know about yourself. You did not decide. Your brain decided, up to 10 full seconds before you became conscious of the thought. You were not the author of that choice. You were the audience. And that is just the beginning, the experiment that broke science. In 1983, a neuroscientist named Benjamin Libet ran an experiment that sent shockwaves through psychology, philosophy, and neuroscience that are still being felt today. He asked participants to move their wrist whenever they felt like it, completely freely, at any moment of their choosing. While they did this, he monitored their brain activity. What he found was impossible. The brain showed electrical activity called the readiness potential, up to 550 milliseconds before the person was consciously aware of their intention to move. The decision happened in the brain, before the person knew they had decided. Your conscious mind did not make the choice. It received a notification. Think about what this means. Every time you have felt like you made a free choice, your subconscious had already made it. Your conscious awareness arrived late, like a journalist reporting on a story that already happened. What is actually running your life? If your conscious mind is not in charge, what is? Your subconscious. And your subconscious is not some mystical concept. It is a real, measurable system, and it is running on programming installed before you were old enough to question any of it. Between the ages of 0 and 7, the human brain operates primarily in a state called theta, a highly suggestible, almost hypnotic state. During this period, you had no critical faculty to filter incoming information. Everything your parents believed, you downloaded. Everything your environment modeled, you absorbed. Every fear, every rule, every belief about what is possible and what is not, about whether you are worthy or not, about whether the world is safe or dangerous. You installed it all, automatically, without consent. And then you spent the rest of your life thinking those were your own thoughts. The 5 programs running silently inside you right now. Program number 1, your self-worth setting. Somewhere before you turned 7, your brain received a verdict about your value. Maybe it came from a parent who was never satisfied. Maybe it came from a teacher who dismissed you. Maybe it came from being compared to someone else constantly. Whatever the source, that verdict became your baseline, and every experience since then has been filtered through it. When good things happen, your subconscious finds reasons they will not last. When opportunities arrive, it generates reasons you are not ready. When people offer love, it creates distance because some part of you decided long ago that you do not fully deserve it. You have been living inside a belief that was handed to you before you had the ability to refuse it. Program number 2, your relationship blueprint. Your first experience of love was with your parents or caregivers. However they expressed, or failed to express, love became your definition of what love is. If love was inconsistent, you learned that love comes and goes unpredictably, and you became addicted to the highs and anxious about the lows. If love was conditional, you learned that you must earn it through performance, and you have been performing ever since. If love was absent, you learned that closeness is dangerous, and some part of you has been sabotaging intimacy ever since. You did not choose these patterns. You inherited them, and you have been repeating them. In every relationship, with every person, without realizing that you are running a script written by someone else. Program number 3, your money story. What did you hear about money growing up? Money does not grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. We cannot afford that. Money is the root of all evil. These phrases, repeated dozens, hundreds, thousands of times during childhood, became subconscious commands. Your brain built its entire financial operating system around them. And now, no matter how much you consciously want wealth, Part of your brain is executing old code that says money is dangerous, or wrong, or not for people like you. You are not broke because of your circumstances. In many cases, you are broke because of your programming. Program number 4. Your risk tolerance. Were you praised for trying new things as a child, or warned away from them? Was failure treated as data, or as disaster? The answers to those questions built the threshold at which your brain triggers fear when you approach anything new. Some people were programmed for courage, others were programmed for caution, and most people spend their entire lives believing that their risk tolerance is just who they are, when it is actually just what they were taught. Program number 5. Your identity ceiling. Your subconscious mind has a specific picture of who you are, and it will do everything in its power to keep your reality matching that picture. This is why people self-sabotage when they get close to a breakthrough, why they quit just before success, why they gain back the weight after losing it, why they destroy good relationships after finally finding one. It is the subconscious protecting its map of who you are, because a map that no longer matches reality feels threatening to the system. The most important question you will ever ask yourself: are you living your life, or are you executing a program? Are your beliefs actually yours, or are they inherited code you never questioned? Are your fears genuine, or are they someone else's caution installed in you before you could think for yourself? Most people never ask these questions. They live entire lives inside someone else's programming and call it personality. Call it just the way I am. But it is not who you are. It is what you were given. How to start rewriting the code. Step 1. Catch the pattern, not the moment. You cannot see your subconscious programming in isolated events. You see it in patterns. The same type of relationship ending the same way. The same kind of opportunity being rejected for the same internal reasons. The same self-defeating behavior appearing at the same threshold. When you see a pattern, you have found a program. Step 2. Trace it backward. When you notice a limiting belief in action, ask where it came from. Not to blame anyone, but to recognize that it has an origin point, that it was installed at a specific time, by specific people, in specific circumstances, and that what was installed can be examined, can be questioned, can be updated. Step 3. Feed the subconscious new data deliberately. The subconscious learns through repetition and emotion. It installed your original programming through thousands of repetitions during an emotionally open developmental period. You can use the same mechanism in reverse. New beliefs, stated repeatedly, attached to genuine emotion, backed by small consistent actions that provide evidence the new belief is true. This is not positive thinking. This is neurological reprogramming, and it works, but it requires consistency and time. Step 4. Choose awareness over automaticity. You cannot stop every subconscious process, but you can introduce a pause between stimulus and response, between feeling and behavior. In that pause lives your actual freedom. Viktor Frankl, who survived the Nazi concentration camps, said it best. Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. That space is where you actually live. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not your patterns. You are someone who was handed a set of programs before you were old enough to question them. And now you are old enough. The fact that you are watching this video, that you are seeking to understand your own mind, means the reprogramming has already begun. Subscribe to MindVault. Share this with someone who needs to wake up. Because the most revolutionary thing a human being can do is finally start thinking for themselves.